can't even solve a Rubik's Cube. Actually, I don't know if anyone can. Can you guys? But anyways, while I can't help with cracking any kind of unsolved codes today, I can certainly share with you what I do know about these ongoing mysteries. By the way, please stay tuned till the end to see some bloopers and take a guess in the comments about how many times I'm gonna mess up in this video. First up today, we have the unsolved ciphers of the infamous Zodiac Killer. If you don't know who the Zodiac Killer is, don't worry, because neither do we. What we do know, however, is that the title belongs to a man who went on a confirmed killing spree between the years 1968 and 1969 that claimed the lives of at least 5 people. However, in a message sent by the killer, he claims to have taken the lives of 37 individuals in a killing spree that lasted well into the 1970s. The self-named Zodiac Killer generally targeted Caucasian couples in secluded areas partaking in romantic activity. Beyond that, the Zodiac often taunted police officers and the press, sending in cryptic messages and ciphers to be published in the local newspapers. At one point, the killer even called the police to report one of his own crimes after it had taken place, and while on the phone, he confessed to committing 2 previous killings as well. In total, 4 ciphers were sent by the Zodiac, and of the 4, only 2 have ever been solved. The first to be solved read, "I like killing because it is so much fun." Super creepy. The second, which took 51 years to solve, paraphrases to, "I hope you are having lots of fun trying to catch me. I am not afraid to die because it will send me to paradise sooner, and I have collected enough souls to serve me in the afterlife." Ew. Unfortunately, the 2 other ciphers, as well as the identity of the killer, to this day remain a mystery. Next up, we have possibly the most famous cipher in the world, I guess. It's called the Kryptos, and the cipher is a lot lighter than the last one. Hopefully. I mean, it hasn't actually been solved yet. Anyways, it comes to us in the form of a sculpture designed by American artist James Sanborn, and it fittingly rests on the grounds of the United States Central Intelligence Agency, for those of you who don't know, the CIA. Since it was installed back in 1990, no one has been able to crack its final code, even with the best minds from the CIA and the NSA working together to try and figure this thing out. Only 3 of 4 of the initial codes have been cracked. Each code is a clue, not leading to the answer of the final code, but leading to a riddle. That means that even after the 4th cipher is cracked, there will still be the case of solving the riddle, which is said to have an answer that is found in separate art installations spanning across the entire grounds of the CIA facility located in Langley, Virginia. Among the solved ciphers are the phrases, "Between subtle shading and the absence of light lies the nuance of inclusion. It was totally invisible. How is that possible? It was totally invisible. They used the Earth's magnetic field. The information was gathered and transmitted underground to an unknown location. And does Langley know about this?" Slowly, desperately, slowly, the remains of passage debris that encumbered the lower part of the doorway was removed with trembling hands. Make of that what you will, I have no idea what it means. Next on our list today, we have the Pink Floyd Publius. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but anyways. In 1985, Pink Floyd released an album called Division Bell in an effort to help promote their world tour, during which a mystery would come to light. While touring, an anonymous internet persona posted a cryptic message about the album saying that it had a central purpose and a designed solution. Not only that, but the user, by the name of Publius, said that there was a unique and secretive prize, thus insinuating that hidden within the album was a riddle, and whoever solved it would receive some kind of reward for their efforts. While at first the anonymous user was dismissed as a hoax, in July of 1994 he claimed that Pink Floyd would confirm the existence of the enigma. On July 18th, Publius was proved correct when, during the band's last show of the tour, the stage lights lit up with the words Publius Enigma. Despite the band going on to further confirm that there was in fact some kind of coded message hidden within the album, and a few more hints that were posted online, no one has been able to figure out what it was. Next on our list today, we have the Shugborough Hall Inscription, which has been said to hold the key to locating the Holy Grail. Located in Shugborough Hall is Shepherd's Monument, which contains a relief. which in simple terms is a kind of map that depicts landscapes, kind of the dips and hills and valleys. Pictured in the relief is a woman watching over 3 shepherds, one of which is pointing to a tomb with an inscription that, translated, reads, "I am also in Arcadia." The relief is based off of a French painting but holds a few notable and intentional differences. The first being that the image from the painting has been reversed horizontally. The second is that an extra sarcophagus or tomb has been placed on top of the original tomb containing the inscription. And the third is that while in the painting the shepherd pointing to the tomb is clearly pointing at the R in Arcadia, in the recreation he is clearly pointing at the N in the word in. In lieu of a description of the piece, carved on the monument beneath the relief are the letters D, O, U, O, S, V, A, V, V, M. While no one has yet to crack whatever the heck this code means and set out on their own version of Monty Python's quest for the Holy Grail, I personally remain very hopeful that one day we will figure it out and I will live to see a deranged group of historians, one of whom is named Arthur, set out on a coconut-accompanied journey to claim their prize. And if you get that reference, I love you. At our halfway point today, we are going to be taking a dive into the Devil's Bible, so feel free to grab your holy water. The story tells that the 620-page, 3-foot, 160-pound Bible, also known as Codex Gigas, sorry guys, a complete Bible that also contains 5 additional long texts, was written by a monk known as Herman the Recluse. Not only that, but Herman is said to have handwritten the entirety of the massive text overnight, which is an almost, if not completely impossible feat. While this might sound like a thing of legends, handwriting analysis experts were able to deduce from the script that its entirety was not only written by one man, but based on the continuous uniformity of the handwriting, they also believe that it was written over an incredibly short period of time. Which is strange because many experts have said that the codex should have taken 5 years to write after at least 25 years of preparation. So, how was it that Herman was able to deliver this massive message in such a short amount of time? Well, many believe that after he was sentenced to write the entire script in one night, or face death, he did the only thing he could think of. He prayed to God. But when God failed to answer his prayers, he looked elsewhere and summoned the devil, who in exchange for Herman's soul granted him with the ability to scribe the intricate texts. While we are able to somewhat read the text, it's written in a few different versions of Latin, historians are still frantically trying to crack the code of just how the hell this thing was written. Next up, we've got the Voynich Manuscript, a medieval document written in an unknown language for an unknown purpose. Oh, and the pages are adorned with pictures of unknown plants. Although the manuscript has been evaluated by many historians, linguistics, and cryptographers over hundreds of years, no one has been able to break the code and actually understand what the script is trying to say. The origin of the Voynich, along with the language in which it was written, as well as its date of creation, remain highly disputed and incredibly puzzling. Some people believe that the writings are pharmaceutical practices and that the illustrations show the various plants used in specific medicinal techniques. While this is the most likely answer, many who have attempted to decipher the text claim that doing so comes with a price, saying that even attempting to crack the code will leave you with a curse that causes many years of bad luck, which subsequently has led many to believe that whoever does eventually crack the Voynich code will receive a fatal curse so that they may not share its secrets with anyone else. Although growing up, my friends and I used to write in code a lot, so it is possible that the script is just a series of journal entries written by a highly intelligent medieval girl complaining about her village trying to burn her at the stake for having the ability to write and read. But who knows? What do you guys think? Next up, we have the adorable Dorabella Cipher, written by a composer named Edward Elgar to a one Miss Dora Penny in July of 1897. I feel like after looking at this thing, a lot of us are probably on the same page. It looks like a doctor's note, right? Or some kind of prescription. While some believe that the cipher, which remains incredibly popular and obviously unsolved to this day, to have been a secret expression of love from Edward to Dora, there really is no way to be sure. I mean, there's really not much to go on, just look at it. it. There's no key or no code or no ode to a specific language or mathematical pattern. It's just squiggles. Over the years, many experts have attempted to decipher the note, and in 2007 there was even an event held to commemorate 150 years since Edward's birth, in which members of the Elgar Society were called upon to solve the cipher. Unfortunately, and to this day, the strangely coded note does remain unsolved. Next up, we've got the Beale Cipher, another incredibly popular cipher that people have been trying to crack for years. Over 200 of them. Years, not people. You see, in the early 1800s, a man named Thomas Beale, along with a group of men, discovered a ton of gold and silver within the Rocky Mountains. They mined day in and day out for years until they had gathered enough gold and silver to add up to an estimated 65 million US dollars in today's value. That sounds pretty nice right now. That's a lot of money, and so the men knew that they must come up with a way to protect their treasures and decided to bury it somewhere in Bedford, Virginia. The leader of the group, Beale, then created 3 coded letters containing the location of the precious metals, and he gave them to an inn worker for safekeeping. Years passed and Beale never returned. He was presumed dead, and it was at this time that the inn worker had decided to pass the ciphers on to a wealthy friend of hers, who was able to crack part of the code. They were able to figure out exactly how much gold and silver had been stashed away, which is why we know the answer now, but despite their efforts and the efforts of countless great minds over the years, the location of the Beale and Friends treasure still remains completely unknown. Alright, starting off our top 2, we have Serafini's Uncyclopedia. 2 illustrated books released by Serafini after finding inspiration from the Voynich Manuscript, which, if you're paying attention, you'll remember that we talked about just a few points back. Anyways, the works published in 1981 caught the eyes of Douglas Hofstadter, who described them as both grotesque and disturbing, and beautiful and visionary. Of course, we are aware that this assessment was based solely off of the illustrations because, of course, to this day, no one has been able to read any of the pages in either of the 2 books. While he was still alive, and when questioned about his writing, Serafini said that it was automatic, as though a spirit had guided his hand. While this answer left some people incredibly skeptical and disillusioned at the idea of Serafini's genius, many found this line of logic incredibly and irresistibly fascinating. And finally, we have the D-Day Pigeon. For those of you who don't know, I am actually kind of obsessed with the history of pigeons, and every time I get the chance, I will talk about the fact that thousands of years ago, we literally domesticated them and took them from their homes so that they could learn and work from us, and then all of a sudden, pigeon mail became a thing of the past, and we dumped the poor animals on the street, and then we get pissed off that there's a crap ton of pigeons on the streets. So to me, it doesn't make sense, but apparently a lot of people are super unaware of this, so, you know, spread the message. Okay, back to the D-Day pigeon. During the historic event, a blackout took place and radio messaging went down. In an effort to communicate, pigeons were sent out with encoded messages attached to their legs. It seems that one of the pigeons, however, lost its way and ended up stuck in a chimney. A chimney that apparently didn't get much use, as 70 years later, the pigeon along with its note were found during a home renovation. The coded message has baffled experts to the point that eventually they released an official statement saying they had given up. The mystery of the D-Day's unread message remains, and it begs the question, would things have turned out differently had it been received as intended? Okay, you guys, get those thinking caps on because I really want to know what some of these things say. No pressure though, but go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments. I will be shouting out some of you guys in a later video, so I am super excited about that. I have been your host, Hannah Thompson, and I will see you in the next video. Don't know why I did that with my hands. There's really... However, oh my god! What the I don't know, that scared the crap out of me. Okay, okay, yeah, you can put that in the video. What the... Okay, where are we? Okay, well, simply... What the what is happening? Should we keep filming? What's going on?
I think it's just the light.
Okay. I'm strong like a bull.